Hello everyone, this is Kalpana working as an assistant professor in SNS College of Technology at Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department. Today we are going to see the challenges of natural language processing and its real-time applications. Let's begin the session. Today's agenda, we are just going to recap the previous session. Origin and challenges of NLP we are going to see today and some real-time applications of NLP. Recap of the previous session. So in previous session we have discussed what is natural language processing and the concepts of natural language processing. Natural language processing is a field of artificial intelligence where the machine understands our human language, it processes, it interprets it, and then it gives back the results to the user in the form of text, video or audio in a meaningful and useful way. So this is the definition of NLP. So this is the history of natural language processing. That is the origin of natural language processing. It starts in 1949. So first universal machines were developed. So it's the universal machine's purpose is to just mimicking the human intelligence. So that is the first thing. That is the base of natural language processing that was started in 1949. And then in 1950s, natural language processing research happened. It started in 1950s, and in 1960s, linguistic theories, that is grammar based sentence formation and grammar based checking happens in 1960s, and in 1970s rule based systems were developed, which means with the help of the linguistic theories, whether you are using English, Tamil or whatever the language, so based on that grammar, rule based systems were derived in 1970s, and the next revolution is revolution in 1980s, statistical approach, which means probability based approaches happened, which means guessing the next word, what will be the next word. So this auto recommendation, how this auto recommendations happen. So everything started in 1980s, and in 1990s probabilistic models were developed. So it is like a statistical approach, and with the help of statistical approach, this probabilistic models, fully probabilistic models were developed in 1990s, and in 2000 ML, that is machine learning concept arrived, and in 2010 deep learning was introduced, and in 2013 word to vector, that is we are tokenizing the we are splitting the words, and word to vector concept was introduced in 2013, and in 2017 transformers were developed, and then in 2020 GPTs were introduced, and in 2023 large language models were introduced. So this is the evolution of natural language processing. So from 1949, so from 1949 till 2023, we have seen the development, which we have seen the history of origin of natural language processing from universal machines till the LLM, that is large language models. We have seen the origin. So next is challenges in natural language processing. So even though the machine can able to understand human language clearly, sometimes it faces difficulties too, challenges too. Like to understand, like understanding different users slang, it leads to ambiguity, which means confusion to the natural language NLP system. So that is the first thing. Precision and ambiguity is the first challenge it faces because of interpreting different styles of speaking. And next is tone and inflection. While identifying any sarcastic sentences, sarcastic meaningful sentences, sometimes system will face difficulties. So that is the second challenge. Next is evolving languages. So which means if at all the system happens to listen any new words, okay, so in that case sometimes it can't understand the intended meaning of the sentence, so even that leads to the third difficulty or challenge of the NLP system. And next is dialects and accents. So which means we have different accents. If you take English, we have UK, US, likewise different kind of accents are there. So while understanding that different accents sometimes leads to confusions. So that is the next difficulty faced by the natural language processing system. And next is bias in data. If the data is biased, so in that case also we can't get the correct information. So that is the next thing. Next is informal language, which means just processing or understanding, as I told you, like different accent or different slangs from different parts of uh, region. So it is also plays an important role, informal language. So that is the next challenge or difficult faced by the natural language processing system. That's all about today's session. We just summarize what we have discussed so far. So we have today in this session we have discussed about the history of NLP. It started with 1949 until 2023 we have seen, and then some of the challenges of the NLP, and then definitions of the NLP. Thank you.